In this video, we're exploring how to use ChatGPT to break down complex topics, structure essays, and create practical study aids. Let's jump right into using ChatGPT to understand a challenging topic: the impact of social media on mental health. A vague prompt like "explain social media's effect on mental health" will yield a generic response because this topic is too broad. There's a ton to cover, like dopamine and addiction, cyberbullying, self-esteem issues, misinformation, and even the positive impacts like online support communities. If you want to use AI to break down complex topics, you need to be a lot more specific with your prompt and outline what you are looking to understand. Let's refine this prompt and give ChatGPT enough to work with. And in this example, we're going to use O1, which is a reasoning model, because it's really great when you need structured thinking. I'm going to paste in my prompt, and let's see what O1 does. Straight away, you'll notice that it will flash up and say reasoning. You'll then see that O1 reasoned for a couple of seconds to answer this question. And ChatGPT has provided an overview of the major psychological theories that help to explain how social media can affect individuals. We have the key psychological theories that we can delve into. We've got how the different platforms actually affect mental health. And we also have the real-world examples that we requested. And some key takeaways at the bottom. So O1, really good for structured thinking to help us unpack complex topics. And what you notice is that in the prompt, I gave clear context and a specific expectation. That really allows ChatGPT to zero in on the toughest parts of the subject and actually make it more digestible. I can continue to engage in a conversation with O1 to ensure that I truly understand all of the core components and explore some complexity in more detail. It was a great response. However, if you want to deeply research a topic, you can now leverage deep research. Deep research in ChatGPT is an agentic capability that tackles complex multi-step research tasks on the internet. What originally would take humans hours or even sometimes days can now be done by deep research in a couple of minutes. All you need to do is simply provide a prompt, toggle on deep research, and ChatGPT will search, analyze, and synthesize a large amount of information from hundreds of online sources and deliver a research report with citations. Let's trigger a new chat and use exactly the same prompt that we just gave to O1, but now we want to observe the output that we get from deep research. To do that, I simply paste in the prompt again, and then I toggle on deep research. You'll notice I get a remark here that says, provide as many details as possible for best results. This is really important. Deep research needs even more detail and context than other models. To trigger the capability, we simply send it across. And you will notice that deep research will come back and ask a series of clarifying questions. All we would need to do is respond to these questions to start the research process. Make sure you think about the answers and respond in detail to ensure that the research report that you get given at the end relates to the topic that you are studying. Deep research can take anywhere from 5 to 30 minutes to generate. So let's jump back into a previous chat to show you the response. In this example here, you can see that I used exactly the same prompt. And then I responded to the questions. I want a general overview of the psychological theories. I want a key breakdown by platform. I want the research report to only focus on the negative impacts. And I'm very clear that I only want academic studies as the sources. What you'll notice is that deep research thought for 4 minutes and explored 19 sources in order to generate this response. What's really great about deep research is if I click on this, you will be able to see the activity and everything that deep research did to complete the task. You can actually scroll down and see this chain of thought. You can also click on the 19 sources section to explore the sources that were cited in the report. This allows me to go back and investigate, explore, and also fact check as well. What is incredible is that in 4 minutes, this is the research report I have been given. It has a clear introduction, and everywhere that a source has been explored and cited, it is listed within the document itself. We have the social comparison theory. We have reinforcement learning and social media use. We have the impacts of digital interactions on self-esteem and anxiety. And you can see here that we now have the platform-specific effects on mental health. So this report is even going into the detail of each platform and providing a very comprehensive summary for us. You can see that this response is far more comprehensive than what we got from O1 and even from 4.0 if we were to use the same prompt. It's really a research report. This is pretty incredible because you can now lean on deep research and you have access to a research assistant pretty much in your pocket. What we're going to do now is we're actually going to move on from deep research, and we're going to start to think about how you would take some of this research and then actually structure your essay. ChatGPT can be really helpful at creating a custom outline and supporting the writing process. Now that your research is complete, it's time to structure your essay. ChatGPT can help you create a custom outline and support the writing process. Let me show you a powerful prompt that makes it really easy to plan and create this essay structure. In this example, we will be triggering Canvas, which is an interface that allows you to work with ChatGPT on writing and coding projects. This interface goes beyond a simple chat. It opens up in a separate window and allows you to collaborate with ChatGPT like a partner. Let me show you how it works. I'm going to trigger a new chat, and we're going to add in the prompt. Here I'm saying, help me structure a 5-page paper on the impact of social media on mental health, including an introduction, key psychological theories, case studies on different platforms, potential interventions, and a concluding argument. If we want to leverage the Canvas capability, we simply click on the 3 dots, select Canvas, and you'll notice that Canvas gets added into the first part of the prompt. Now watch what happens when I send this across. You will see a new interactive view appear. There we go. It looks almost like a document and then expands the view. You'll notice that ChatGPT is crafting this outline for you. It's starting to think about the best structure and way to approach this essay. What's great about Canvas is you have a document view. So at any stage you want to update or edit the document, you can. And there's a way to continue to improve this piece of work. You can simply add in a prompt on the left-hand side and ask ChatGPT to add or edit sections. You can copy and paste writing from other documents. And if you're uploading documents or adding in your own work, you can also leverage the edit feature in the bottom right-hand corner. This is the ability to change things, edit things, add suggestions, and lean on ChatGPT like a true partner. You can click the Suggest Edits feature. That is going to give you some inline suggestions to help you improve your work. You can adjust the length. You can actually increase the number of words on a page depending on the output needs. You can adjust the reading level depending on the content you are creating and your target audience. You can add a final polish when you're ready to ship your piece of work. And if you're writing a more informal post or piece of communications, you can also add emojis. This is a really helpful way to start preparing your essays and partnering with ChatGPT on writing specific tasks. Coming away from Canvas, we are now at the stage where we have high quality research, and we're also starting to think about the structure of our essay. This means we've actually spent less time gathering information and planning, and we now have more time to focus on critical thinking and crafting a really compelling, well-written essay. Finally, to wrap, let's take a look at how you can use ChatGPT to support studying. Don't just rely on ChatGPT to summarize your notes. You can actually ask ChatGPT to turn them into interactive study materials to support your learning. I'm going to show you 3 prompts really quickly that will help you to do this. The first prompt is create 8 flashcards defining key psychological concepts related to social media. Dopamine response, social comparison, cyberbullying, echo chambers. Now, of course, it's always best to run this prompt in the same chat where all of your notes related to this subject sit. However, for demo purposes, let's just see what ChatGPT returns for us. You can see straight away we now have a series of flashcards outlining the term and also the definition. We could copy and paste these into a doc, we can print them, we can have them ready to go when we need to understand and learn a specific term. The next prompt that's going to be a game changer for studying is this one. Generate 5 quiz questions to test my understanding of how social media affects mental health, including both positive and negative impacts. Now we have a series of quiz questions to work through to help us as we begin to prepare for exams. And lastly, summarize the main arguments of how social media affects mental health in a concise bullet point list for quick review. And here we have a great overview of the main arguments. This really is active learning at its best. It's quick, we're able to create flashcards to reinforce key concepts, we can generate quizzes to test our understanding and knowledge, and we're also able to generate high-level summaries to help us think about the big picture. From analyzing social media's psychological impact to structuring a paper, creating study aids, ChatGPT can help you conquer complex subjects efficiently. I'd encourage you all this week to go ahead, experiment with ChatGPT for your next challenging topic, and let's see how fast you can turn research into understanding.